Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where hopefully we're going to make some actual progress against the Empire this episode. Hold on a second, where's their total army strength at? Okay, we have depleted them considerably. Well, we plus Chaos have depleted them considerably. We are actually winning. Now, there's evidence of the thing I said last episode. They can be worn down. So, we need to figure out our plan for this turn. Do we march on Altdorf right now? I mean, I probably want to knock out Nicholas Orr before he has a chance to recruit very much. We also have to watch out for Alberic Haupt Anderson coming in from Flensburg. But he's going to have to walk around. Like, there's no way you can move through the forest this dense with an army. Yeah, you see it's impassable terrain. So you would either have to, like, cross the river and come around at Nuln through that direction. He'd have to cross another river to get there. Or he'll have to take the road north, which, I mean, it's road movement, so it's fast, but it's still quite a lot of walking around. We probably have a turn of warning before he's able to actually do anything to us. Alright, so Vomic's in good shape. Bilefitch is not, because his army... It feels like Bilefitch's army is always all torn apart. Or we could just make the move on Altdorf. Where do I have Scout? Where do I have Scout? Arat, get over here and give me information. It turns out Altdorf is undefended, except for, you know, by the massive internal army that is always defending it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to assault it, even though I am, apparently being exhausted is no excuse for failure. Alright, the garrison obviously heals up considerably each turn, so you really do have to pounce on it when it's damaged. I mean, if we could get Altdorf, it would help a lot. I could march Ikit Claw into reinforcement position. That might be the move. Vomic's army has traditionally been pretty good at sieges. I want to see what Altdorf's garrison looks like. So 2 units of mortars, they get a steam tank in there, that's a problem. A ton of great swords. You know, this might actually be a situation where it makes sense to to apply a little bit of siege. So we have these bonus extra siege construction followers, right? I imagine that they can only work for a Warlock Engineer. Okay, we already have one of those equipped on our Warlock Engineer. And I've forgotten to give him... Oh, he could take the Alloy Shield. You know what? That's fine. Okay, so the Fistblade stuff, it has to be on, like, engineer-type characters are the ones who can take this stuff. Well, you know, honestly, his melee stats aren't all that bad, right? Yeah, we took, like, augmented weapon and everything. He'll wield all this stuff, because our legendary lord certainly doesn't need it. And if we're talking about maybe putting him into combat, maybe we should give him some real combat gear. Okay, Balaquint Marsqueak is maybe becoming a little bit more of a lead from the front sort of guy. Well, lead. Follow from the front. So maybe we do just go ahead and siege up Altdorf. This has some danger of resulting in an Empire army coming out of nowhere and attacking us and getting the garrison as backup. But let's go ahead and build some siege towers. Actually, can we build a ram and some siege towers in 2 turns? I think that might be a good idea. And obviously, we're not going to have him do that alone. So let's start with... I think I want Ikit Claw to... Hold on. Trying really hard to just move over here. There we go. Ikit Claw can provide a little bit of reinforcement as Bilefitch comes in here and takes this over. He desperately needs to just sit down in a friendly settlement for a couple of turns. A Rival Hide Talisman. So a 1-charge magic item that really nukes the enemy melee attack within 40 meters. Honestly, that is not a bad item. Ourselves an extra scribe. Does he have a scribe follower? Yes, he does. Okay. Alright, we got our brass orb. You need to march. Stay on our side of the line, obviously, because we want the replenishment. But next turn we'll have a ram. We could push Altdorf with that. I'd rather wait until we have the siege towers completed. It's going to be hard enough fighting through all those great swords without all of our dudes being tired, you know. So it'd be nice if we could make that work properly. Marienburg has been conquered so many times that the walls are still kind of busted up. We're building them up slowly but surely. Boy. Where is the next place that needs to be upgraded? It's probably not Eilhart. Eilhart is sort of in the middle of our territory at this point. So I guess we'll do that one. And then, actually demolish this. This is not the building I want here at all. Okay. Again, the dominating scheme may well be worth running. We do not need... I don't think the 13th scheme benefits us, like, at all. How is the Undercity going over... Where are we? Here. Okay, we are not discoverable at the moment. This is going to add a bunch of discoverability. That is just a little too expensive. Alright, we'll start that next turn. That's fine. So as long as we don't have an Empire army come out of the shadows in the next 2 turns, we're going to be totally fine. We can have Erat run forward and explore, see if there's a possibility of incoming reinforcements, but the Reichlanders are looking pretty weak at this point. Now remember, this balance of power bar is relative. We have, at this point, 4 full stacks. So the fact that they're showing up being maybe like a third as powerful as we are means that they still have more than one entire army. And we have seen it now. Eilfitch is not really in a good place to defend against an attack from a real army, so he's probably just going to have to run and cede Kemperbad. Also, did the Bretonnians actually manage to eventually drive off that rebel army? That's a shame. I really thought they were going to get put away there. Oh, right, we have an army in the south that I should, like, actually do stuff with. Also, I have to say, the attack on Sartosa seems very half-hearted. There's just a bunch of guys down there running back and forth over the border. Not really accomplishing anything except annoying me. Overseers notice that Skaven slaves have recently been less productive. An investigation reveals that they are avoiding certain shortcuts because of ominous noises from the depths. Dispatched to investigate, your lord returns with news of an abandoned laboratory. Inside there was a single artifact, a box producing very unsettling noises indeed. Oh, well, that's interesting. So we could snatch the box, Vomit will lose a bunch of loyalty, but we'll gain a box of eerie noises. I do like the discouraged effect. That could be pretty powerful. We could destroy the daemon. I mean, we do not need XP on Vomit. 50% bonus research rate for 10 turns. That's very significant. Or we could just make some quick money. I am inclined, as much as I think this is a neat idea, I kind of want this. We still have a lot of research that I want to get through. We're closer to the end of the tree now. Maybe I do want this. The discouraged effect is quite powerful. I believe it's like 8 leadership reduction. Yeah, alright. Give me that box of eerie noises. Is this a thing we can just equip on anyone? Because it should definitely go on, like, one of the melee fighters, right? Vomit himself probably doesn't need it. Okay, it goes in the enchanted item slot. But he also doesn't really need his Ring of Ruin. I think, I think I'm still better off with... I think he's still better off having the Ring of Ruin. So we'd have to trade out the Potion of Healing on you. I mean, it is powerful, though. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So then I have this Potion of Healing, right? Featherfoe Torque is pretty weak relative to, like, Potion of Healing, I think. And you know, we haven't taken a mount on Ikit Claw because I didn't want him to lose access to his flamethrower, which I think he might. But we're totally going to put this dude on a Doom Wheel when we have the opportunity. What level is that? Oh, we totally do have the opportunity. Okay, next level he's getting a Doom Wheel. Alright, what are we looking at here? Gavin Sadao, it looks like awful lot of siege weaponry. So it looks like a pretty standard army. I wonder if it is even worth trying to attack him. Right, let's start with... Do we want Irat to try to wipe out this Bright Wizard, or do I want to scout ahead? I guess I don't really think that there's going to be another army. There's not going to be an Empire army to the north, probably. Their stuff is going to come in from this side, and we can already see their stuff. So I guess I'm just going to try to put this guy away. Reduce the amount that our own units are getting harassed. He's getting really good at that. How you doing on leadership? Okay, you were at 9 when we took 5 leadership from you, so you will be fine. And I think we are going to go ahead and try to wait the one more turn, let the siege towers finish. So we'll have 1 battering ram and 3 siege towers. I'm going to start building that, even though we are reasonably certain it's not actually going to complete, because Gavin is going to be all up in our business before then. And I think I might just have him fall back to Grunberg. We will cede control of Kemperbad to the Empire if it means that they just attack Kemperbad and don't do anything else this turn. Alright, you can join up next turn, and that's when that guy will finish recruiting when he's already recruiting, so that's good. And that means that we are... Actually, hold on. If I don't build this, then I can finally remember to run the dominating scheme again. The extra public order and growth will be nice. And why would I build a building in a place that I know we're going to lose next turn anyway? I guess because the actual answer to that is because we don't know that we're going to lose it. So, it's not impossible that he's going to run... Oh no, okay, we can see his March mode movement doesn't get him over here. I thought maybe his plan was to run across this land bridge and provide backup for Altdorf. I figure even if he could do that, that's probably okay for us. An open field fight against these armies is... probably favors us a little bit more than the siege battle. It'll be a lot easier for us to kill the great swords on an open field where we can just mow them down with gunfire, you know? I gotta be honest with you, I'm feeling fairly powerful here. I think we're in really good shape. Alright, so he's gonna soften up Kemperbad. You know, because how could this army led by Karl Franz possibly keep up with these units of Skaven slaves if they didn't pre-assault the garrison? Okay, that's real good for us. Ooh, Taliesin and Reichland have negotiated peace. I'm not a big fan of that. I really like the Wood Elves being at war with all my enemies. For a whole bunch of reasons, actually. Nothing to keep somebody from cutting your throat like having a common enemy. Alright, well, Taliesin is still at war with Bretonia, and if they take out Grungsint, that'll work just fine for us. Okay, there's, yeah, 0 chance that we could hold this. That's fine. Again, trading stuff back and forth is more beneficial to me than it is to them, because we keep getting food out of the battles. He doesn't even actually take Nuln. That he leaves it for the dwarves to just walk into. I have no idea what these Bretonians are doing. Part of the problem they're having there, I think, is that the island of Sartosa is so vampire corrupted that they're taking a ton of damage just from being in there. But also, like, there are solutions to that problem. Like, perhaps they could attack, you know? Oh no, he sacked Nuln and took 153 gold worth of stuff with him. Alright, let's do the thing.
Where are my schematics?
Do we want to manual this battle? Actually, hold on a second. Continue siege. Can we use a different army to generate some food? How feasible does that seem?
Sorcerer Inventor. Yes,
Biofitch is not going to be able to take this army down. To be perfectly honest with you, these Demogryph Knights could probably kill all of our Skaven slaves. I'm just thinking it would be cool to have some Menace Below charges, right? But I guess that's not really in the cards. Alright, so let's put you in here, even though you're kind of an awkward fit. You guys can get to Maragliano. And then from there, start moving toward enemy territory. I guess there's no reason we can't march. We're pretty safe as we are. How expensive is this army? We're paying 7,000 gold per turn for this army. We better get some returns on this. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll do it manually to try to minimize damage, because it would be nice if we were ready to turn around and fight Carl Franz. So we'll have to go with just two charges. So winning battles is good for your loyalty. You can see his loyalty, Velmic's loyalty, has already risen back to 5. Skaven love to siege cities. They love to be in raid mode. They love to just be causing havoc for people. That's really where they want to be, and I get that. I also enjoy causing a little bit of havoc. So the biggest danger here is the mortar group. They have 3 units of Reichland Knights and 2 units of Demigryphs. The Demigryphs are the non-flying ones. So we're going to have a hard time winning any battle on the ground, but they're in a really bad position to fight us outside the walls or while we are on the walls. You definitely want to set up on this half. I think 16 is fine. Alright, so who do we want to send up in the towers? Right now we have the Council Guard on the Ram. I don't think I like that. Let's not have you guys do this. Let's not have you guys do that. You lot are the Ram guys. And we throw the Council Guard into one of the siege towers. I think that makes sense. The Council Guard have significantly more armor piercing on their attacks. They are not actually well suited to defeating great swords one-on-one, because the great swords are much better fighters, I believe, but we got to put something up there that can actually do some damage. And then I guess the other way we could do this is we could keep the Council Guard in reserve to help deal with the enemy knights, and just put clan rats in the siege towers. Honestly, I kind of think I like that. Alright, you guys get out of there. They do not like being told they're not going up first, apparently. It's pretty unscavenly. Okay, and then everybody who is not operating a siege engine, just like, get the hell over by the wall. You gotta remember they have mortars, but also they have towers. The towers are a more immediate concern, in my opinion. So we'll figure this out. We'll run up, and then we'll figure out run-up positioning later. Oh, is this the map that has, like, the weird area where you can't stand even though you can clearly stand there? I think it might be. Let's see, so you're going for... We can move this over. We're going for right there. You're going for right there, and you are going for just the other side of this tower. Does it help us to open the gate? Maybe we don't. You know what? No. If we open the gate and they run their cavalry units through this little narrow choke point, we can just gun them down really easily. That would be to our benefit. Let's make sure everybody has their initial movement orders. You really should be able to set initial movement orders during deployment. I don't have any idea why you can't. Because, like, when you're setting your troops up, you're very obviously setting them up for a particular purpose. Okay, no, this is not the map that has that weird untraversable area. We can, in fact, traverse this area. And it even has a little bit of cover from all the mortar fire that we're going to be taking. Alright, we're going to start by moving up. We'll figure out everything else after we are up there. It's his Apocalyptic Visions button. Good news is the siege towers are going to take a lot of the initial fire from these enemies. Wow, they have very upgraded defenses here. So when you build the higher level garrison buildings, in addition to getting the better garrison, your towers get improved projectiles. That's why you're seeing explosions and stuff. It's because those towers have the good guns in them. Oh, that's not. I'm trying to do. You guys need to. That is not the formation that you are currently in. I wish that the move-in formation controls worked better. Right, on this side, they've only managed to mount one of the towers. So let's just get out of its firing range, right?
Your desire. Master. Onwards. Undying loyalty, master. Warp lightning cannon.
Trying so hard to get these catapults selected the very earliest moment we can. There we go. Okay. So you guys need to get more like here. We'll figure all this out later. Just get out of tower range. Taking some very serious damage on some Skaven slaves, which I guess is fine. That's sort of their goal. The Bright Wizard is up on the walls. Very, very good for us. Yeah, actually, they've mostly put handgunners on the wall over here, which I get, but also is definitely bad. Part of me wants to just drop the Doom Rocket right on top of this unit of Reichsguard plus these mortars. That's probably not a good use of our Doom Rocket. But it's definitely like a compelling idea. Because we're going to take a lot of mortar damage otherwise. I'd feel a lot better about it if it was the case that we were going to be able to get both the mortar teams with the same rocket. No, they're a little too canny for that. Alright, we'll wait. We'll use it on grouped up troops. We are getting some good catapult fire. Catapults are a little bit in tower range, but the towers are very busy. Come on, quickly. Oh god. You guys, you gotta keep walking. The two guys pushing the battering ram are doing okay. Everybody else is getting very distracted by all the violence they are receiving. Okay, the Bright Wizard stepped right up to the edge of the wall to receive our units, which seems like an odd choice. I mean, yeah, get him. Okay, so who's going up on the wall next? Oh, hey, that's a problem. I'm going to have a unit of triads commit to the tower next, and we're going to have people now start to take up different positions. We should be able to get control of this tower quite quickly. We're also going to have units just run over here, because we need more people to feed into those. And then Storm Vermin need to get over here. Let's get the gun teams set up in a different formation, and mostly this is not about avoiding the skull. Our units don't move fast enough to avoid the skull. The damage is already being done. The mortar team definitely needs to get into a good firing position. We have characters. Actually, you should fall back to here. And Assassin Man definitely gets up on the wall. Over here, they have moved their units. No big surprise. I'm just going to do a little bit of a dance. You guys have range on the wall yet? Yes, you do. Okay, well, that being the case, I think maybe just fire at these great swords. And all of you guys now form up over here. If we can get them to just like run back and forth instead of actually doing anything of value, I count that as a win as we approach here. Alright, time for some of that good warp lightning. Wow, what a perfect bounce off the wall there. Having used spells like that near the wall several times, I can tell you, You can't really plan for their behaviors, because they do not bounce off walls in, like, a sensible way. What are you guys doing? Push. Yeah, that was probably the most effective spell that has ever been cast. It'll make my life very difficult. This is going to help, though. Okay, some of their mortar fire is landing pretty soft at this point. Actually, you know what? Never mind that. Belay that order. Go do this instead. Alright, who's going up on the wall on this side? We have a unit of enemy greatswords. Let's just move back over. Alright, the catapult's doing the catapult's work. Somehow this unit of greatswords is still controlling this tower psychically. Hopefully that will actually come to an end. Start getting bodies up on this wall. We need to establish here so that it is hard for them to take it back from us. Who do these guys think they are? Okay, the enemy gate is open. Let's try to figure out how we want to handle this. I think we do want the clan rat spears to just sit in the doorway. My guess is they're going to try to flood us with cavalry at some point. They're going to put their normal melee units up on the wall. They're going to try to flood the gate with cavalry, or they're going to not have anyone come out the gate at all. And in either of those cases, we just want our spear units holding the front. Looks like we are winning pretty considerably here because they moved a lot of their melee units off to this side for no reason. This is like, not for no reason, but not for a good reason. This is not the way they should be managing this this part of the battle. So we're going to want to relocate a bunch of units into positions where they're not in front of any of the towers. And we're also just going to want to cast an awful lot of spells. That's doing pretty good work. Warp Lightning plus a Brass Orb to take more than half the health off of 2 units of Great Swords. I think that's a fine start. Alright, we are climbing. It sure doesn't look like this is their tower. There we go. Alright, their running back and forth has cost them control on both sides, which is really, really good for us. Also, I'm not sure what did so much damage to these to this mortar unit, but they've moved their stuff around in such a way that I think a Doom Rocket is now appropriate. Come on, please, please, please actually kill all the siege crew. Wow, these guys are well within the... Oh, it's a steam tank. Steam tank immune to Doom Rocket, apparently. So how is this taking so long? Hold on a second. Could you get in there? Are you actually even fighting him? I think he must not be. Let's take you out of melee mode because apparently he's getting away. I'm not going to want to chase him down onto the ground floor. Oh, never mind. Back into melee mode. Because remember, if we don't put him in melee mode, he's not going to actually engage. He's just going to stand back and hit him with the sling, which is not how we want that to go. Yeah, I think once we finish with their lord here, what we probably want to do is surge down off the wall, grab control of the area in front of the gate. Well, I mean, we can just walk through. I don't really want to get our guys killed by their captain, but we can lead with the clan rat spears. No, pursue him. Do not let him get away. You're faster than he is. Oh, you're a lot faster than he is. I can't believe that giant jumping stab didn't actually get control of him. Okay. Now he's dead. Turn around and do the same thing to this asshole. I'm coming, guys. Don't get murdered. Okay. Their captain has managed to stand in the one place where the Jezzails could shoot him. So that was nice of him. This will make it real easy to defend against cavalry charges. How's this battle on this side going? Actually pretty well, considering the number of elite units that they moved over here. Let's give them some of that. Okay, should make short work of you. Yeah, I think the great swords are really suffering for being, first of all, within catapult range, and secondly, being completely surrounded. What we've learned about the men of the Empire is that they have some serious leadership issues. Even worse than ours. Alright, we've got that dude pinned. He's not going anywhere. Mortars are making it very difficult for them to provide any kind of defense. Any kind of counter-offense, I should say. Stand and receive the charge, boys. Yep, that, they changed their minds. Like, wait a second, is this a good idea? Alright. Back to keeping him corralled, please. I can't even... There's so many spell effects. Their lord's in there somewhere. I believe that. Where else would he be? Okay. Gunners. Inside the walls, please. I guess those guys think they're going to perform a flank attack over here. And obviously we want to kill their lord. This is pretty important. I think the chase is justified. We'll have the council guard back up and form a wall. If they can get stationary before the charge occurs, they can... Yep, that is in fact what they're going for. So yeah, you can see them brace against the charge and deny them their charge bonus. I have new orders for the gun teams. Hey everybody, let's pitch in and get cracking on these dudes. And let's just make sure that they don't go anywhere before it's time to fire. Although I'm a little worried that doing this is going to create a problem where we can't fire cleanly. Hey, you know what? We'll figure it out. Okay, so gun teams in like that. You guys get inside. And I mean, we're ready for a cavalry charge. I don't know that one is forthcoming, but we're ready for one if it does happen. There's a lot of friendly fire going on. I'd prefer to kill their lord rather than have him escape. But if he escapes, it's not so bad. As long as he's off the table, right? My poor council guard. Okay. That's a fine time for you guys to retreat, actually. Speaking of retreat. Wow, no, the council guard are trapped. No escape for them. I don't think these guys should be doing this. I think this is going to end very poorly for them. Listen, if you guys can get out of there, there's one storm vermin remaining. Just run. Just run. I know this is counterintuitive, but run toward the bullets. Okay. Well, it turns out the gun teams have solved the problem. We did lose our council guard. Meanwhile, our lord has fought all of the enemy characters in hand-to-hand combat and taken no damage at all, because he's just extremely good at his job. What is the attack angle? It's something like this, right? As much as that sucks. Alright, so what spears do we have in the area? You guys, you guys, you guys. And of course, Vomit himself. need to all get up here before the gun teams make it into position. And then we probably need to roll up the mortar team as well, maybe like here. Should give them the shot they need. Okay, and on this side we should also be pushing up now. Looks like we've not really left them with anything over here. Okay, you guys get control of that. Alright, once that gate is open, I mean, things are already pretty much over for them. That steam tank is getting to fire down the hill in a way that's... or fire up the wall at our units in a way that's kind of a bummer. Demigryph Knights are running in to bravely absorb fireballs. Alright. The time has come to jam the gap with bodies. Remember, gun teams can usually fire over our units at large enemies. Our catapults are, at this point, not even pretending to shoot at the enemy. They're all hopped up on some Gimli and Legolas garbage right now. It's just like numbers, which is kills. All that matters is the number of bodies. Bumek, I don't want to be the one who has to tell you this, but I think you might have to go punch that steam tank to death. There's a non-zero chance that that is the move. You should probably, like, be participating in the battle, don't you think? Alright, we have the gate. So, I don't know why that unit of catapults has moved up so far. I have all of the gun teams out here. Target that guy. And all of everybody else. Just, yeah. Get in there. Figure it out. Yeah, that charge is what I was waiting for. They're getting to charge our gun team because the gun team ran into the battlefield in a way that doesn't make any sense at all. Definitely not a sensible interpretation of the orders they were given. Okay. I guess the steam tank is not feeling the surrender. You'll get it, buddy. I believe in you. Okay, here we go. Need some proper gunfire in there. You guys don't need to be... I'm trying desperately to tell them to get back, but I'm just getting a red X instead of my movement cursor. There we go. Yeah, just let the guns do what the guns do. I know I told you to get in here, but those are orders from seconds ago. Obviously, the situation has evolved slightly. I mean, I'll say this. They really know how to build those steam tanks. Things are mighty impressive. We're getting it. It'll go down. What exactly? Okay, it's just shooting at the Doom players. Yeah. It sure would be nice if we could, like, salvage a couple of those and make our lives a lot easier. A Pyrrhic victory. So much of that is owed to that Fire Wizard. I don't think 134 kills is really giving him fair credit. Okay, so we lost our Council Guard, but they'll come back. And aside from that, looks like maybe the unit of Clan Rats was the only one that died. Somehow the Skaven Slaves survived, but the Clan Rats died. The problem is, I have so little faith in the Skaven Slaves that I didn't really send them into the hard parts of the battle. I hope this unit of Clan Rats makes it out, because they are rank 5 already, but I think with the amount of health they have left, the odds are pretty low. And we actually watched the last of the Council Guard get cut down by friendly gunfire, which is You know, it's a it's a necessary evil of the way that we conduct our battles. Sure, we could employ strategies that don't involve shooting our guns into our own units so often, but like, where's that get fun?
Chief Warlock, Icket Claw.
Alright, we have complete control of Reichland, and another one of the cities on the big list of cities. You are definitely getting an early upgrade. This is going away because we need to build other stuff here. That gets built up. Let's start putting up defensive structures. Yeah, okay, I think that's reasonable.
Warlock Engineer.
So, what do we want on Ikiclaw? Does it make sense to go grab any of this stuff? The speed bonus, I guess, might be useful. Do we want to grab anything else in the blue line? Anything we could have picked up, could have finished picking up but didn't? I'm not too worried about ambush defense chance. I think we can defend ourselves against ambushes by, you know, just not walking into them. We could finish off Looter. We could grab Sneaky and Trixie, but again, like, if he's not on a mount, he's already not that vulnerable to that kind of stuff. I'll take Jetpack. I'll take an extra 12% move speed. That's fine. And at this point... yeah, we're going to finish Specialist, and then we're going to grab that stuff, I guess, because honestly, he just doesn't have any other useful skill points. Alright, so let's have a look really quickly here at, first of all, how many settlements does the Empire have left?
This action does not have my consent.
Reichland still has 16 settlements, ranging all across the map here, and unfortunately we do need this faction to be completely eliminated from the game for us to win.
More warpstone. Now, now.
Wicked Claw gets all the way back over here. You know what we do? We have Vilefitch Stab step slightly outside, go into ambush mode, and then Icket Claw goes into Grunberg. That's setting me up for a pretty dangerous battle, I think. We can make it this far and ambush. That's not quite inside of reinforcement range of Grunberg, though.
Hide away. Horned rat.
It's fine. It's fine. If we lose Grunberg, it is far from the end of the world. Okay, you are still exhausted, so I guess... wow. Even with exhaustion, we have a 42% chance to knock this dude out? Yeah, go for it, absolutely. Oh, never mind. He can't reach him. Well, maybe go for it next turn, then. Alright, Okal is still upgrading. I guess this is an okay thing to do now. We have money enough that it begins to make sense to do that. Okay. Docks first, right? That makes a lot of sense. And we don't need to really worry about recruitment buildings over here anymore, I don't think. Because we're probably going to be recruiting from, like, Reichland or even maybe areas to the east of that. This could just be... yeah, like a rubbish pit, I guess? 60, 160. You end up making just as much money off of these. May as well be that. I didn't even notice that Leoness has food. Okay, that's really nice, actually. I'm trying to prioritize settlement upgrades first. And then, what do we need aside from settlement upgrades the most? It's pretty much just money, right? Pacific Orcal is going. Manel doesn't necessarily need a bell, but bells make it very stable, and the bell does generate income. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. We do have the population surplus here, so we can upgrade that as soon as we have a spare 6,400 laying around. You know, no big deal. We don't really need any upgrades there in a very pressing way. Here, we should probably put together some more recruitment stuff. Ragliano has a very impressive garrison already. I guess it could be more impressive. This does also generate income. Yeah, we'll just make it completely unconquerable. How about that? All of the green buildings here. Let's, this is kind of what I want to build in this slot, I think. And then we could maybe tear this down to put in the Storm Vermin building. Yeah, I want to be able to do full recruitment here, because this is going to be the front in a lot of different conflicts over the course of the game. Wow, we really have, we've gained a lot of negative diplomatic relations with these guys, haven't we? I felt like we were pretty deep green with them. Oh well. I mean, the elves are going to turn on us at some point. We are going to have to kill them. Oh man, I'm actually really worried about our situation over here. I'm glad nobody's in Grunberg. I think we're going to have a hard time holding on to Grunberg. Maybe these armies should just fall back and we should leave Grunberg to fall. I would like to hold on to it. Just a lot of enemies everywhere.
I have no time for this. No.
It can be tough to tell what the enemies are going to do in terms of, like, trying to sit back and guard their territory. I think I'm just going to hit end turn here, but I'm not super pleased about it. Icky Claw and Bilefitch Stab are both not in the settlements. They can fall back away from it. And who knows whether the enemy will actually try to pursue us.
Trade deal in slip.
What is up, Dark Elves? Yes, I will absolutely do this. Nagarond is roughly as strong as we are, which is a real shame for them, because Lothern is much, much, much stronger than we are. Icky Claw's ambush was spoiled. Let's hope that some of these Empire dudes... Oh, okay, I was going to say direct their attention toward Altdorf, rather than coming at us over by Grunberg, but they decided to do nothing instead of either of those things. And the Knights of Origo gave all of their land to Corone. I guess that's a way of Corone sustaining itself. Okay, all of the forces that are around us at Grunberg decided in unison not to do anything at all, just to let me replenish.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. I do like having a rogue faction around. I wonder if we'll be able to turn them against the elves. Boy, there sure are a lot of bell polishers and breeders out there. I guess the one tends to follow the other. So I want to save population here. I don't want to upgrade Isleheart. I want to make sure Grunberg goes to level 3 as soon as possible. So Icky Claw's army is basically full again. You are full. We are ready to do some damage. We probably just go kill Karl Franz, right? These two armies. How's Vomik? Vomik could use a turn. He could take a moment. Do I want to just recruit some garbage into his army? You know what? I'm going to grab the Doom Wheel for him. Which I guess is a thing I don't need to do right now. Oh no, never mind. He's definitely taking that right now, because he can participate in the battle at Kemperbad.
Kill list.
No. Targeting... Why? It keeps... Even when the cursor's completely stationary, it's like arbitrarily turning from the targeting cursor to the joining cursor.
Contract taken.
Still a lot of weird UI issues in this game, even after all this time.
Great things.
Alright, that guy is permanently murdered. Great job.
Knows who it. Master, Lord of Shadows.
So who do we want to initiate this battle? We probably want to keep getting levels on Bilefitch. Like, at this point, I would really like to make him immortal. So he should participate at the very least.
I order. Scurry, move.
Maybe we can leave Ikit Claw out of it so that the XP is only shared 2 ways. How does this look?
Die, die.
That looks remarkably not that positive. Alright, hold on. Encircle him. Let's pull Ikit Claw in as well. I mean, there's no reason not to, no reason not to contribute all the bodies if all the bodies are actually needed.
Never.
What do you mean, never? Just
Science. Sorcery. There.
sometimes Ikit Claw sounds like John Mulaney doing his Mick Jagger impression.
Go.
Move to that location. No! Okay, there we go. That's the battle we wanted. This is mine. Kemperbad is mine. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
Ready, ready.
So what is up for Vomik? He has all his Yellow Line stuff. He got his Crackle Bombs a long time ago. I don't even remember what I was doing with him. Well, what does he need? What is his army currently composed of? He has... So we have the skill points that upgrade runners, the various types of runner units. Does the skill point that he hadn't taken here affect... No, it doesn't affect anything, really. Oh, that's right, we're working toward Deadly Onslaught. That seems like an okay thing to do. I like Piercing Shots and Wound Maker together. Even more damage. Once your hero hits a certain amount of damage... the bonus damage doesn't really affect them anymore against normal units because you're already like killing every figure that you hit, but continuing to increase your damage is very important for character murdering.
I win.
At some point, just the number of units that you're able to hit with each strike is the main limiter on a lord's ability to kill normal dudes.
Run, fools.
Okay, Karakabufdar is just sitting here empty. I'm gonna hide. We're gonna engage in some sneakiness in the hopes that they won't notice us approaching. And you know what? Yeah, let's camp off Bordalo. We can get that port finished. I don't know why they keep rebuilding. So it's giving us the rubbish pit because they're building their basic money building in that slot, I believe. I do not think that's the right play. And then we probably don't want everybody to still be over here. It's like somebody should be guarding Grunberg.
Diabolic devices.
Oh, also, we're having some serious public order problems in the Empire. So maybe that's the thing we should be worried about. I wonder if we should try to get peace from the Empire. Like, obviously we have to wipe them out. But if we could get them to back off for a little bit while we close up the enemies that are on our southern flank, that would actually be really nice.
You are not welcome in my court.
Okay, they are not even willing to consider it. I mean, it makes sense. I wouldn't accept a peace offer from me either, especially after the way I've behaved all game. And yeah, we're just gonna leave Altdorf totally unguarded. Listen, it's a major settlement, it always has walls. I'm hoping that if the enemy shows up, they just decide to take a minute and approach slowly. Military access, yeah, that's fine with me. You can feel free to move through my territory. Arganeth has been removed from the game. That's a shame. We were making some money trading with them. Not terribly surprised, though, and I would not be surprised either to see Nagaron follow in the very near future, because Lothern is way too powerful. Like, to the point where even though they're not on our objectives list, I'm wondering if I'm going to have to deal with them at some point here. Because eventually they're going to conquer all of the stuff that they hate over on the western continent, and then they're going to turn their eyes eastward, and not only do they hate us very much, but also they, No, I don't think so. Not only do they hate us very much, but also we're, like, the whole western border of this continent, so, like, it makes a lot of sense for them to fight us first. This is not ideal. I did not realize he... Why would he ask for peace if he had these armies in position? Well, how's Akid Claw's health? Akid Claw's army is pretty healthy. Yeah, I mean, we gotta fight it, right? So, like, literally, we have to fight it. I don't know, leadership up on you guys? This doesn't matter at all. We're definitely gonna roll maximum extra charges of Menace Below. Dwarves are tough. Dwarves are just tough to kill. They're heavily armored. They have high leadership. They're slow moving for the most part, and these two dwarven armies don't have a lot of ranged units. But I expect this is going to be tough. Also, most dwarf units have some natural magic resistance. That's just a thing of dwarves in the Warhammer universe. They are naturally, I don't know, it's in their skin or something. They're naturally resistant to magical damage. It sure would be a shame if Bilefitch Stab died during this battle. When we've gotten him so close to hitting immortality. He's become a very, very good spellcaster, and I really, really want him to survive. Okay, so our reinforcements come in from behind us, their reinforcements come in from behind them. I mean, this army's garbage. It does not make any sense to even consider doing anything other than playing way back here and just trying to mass up. Alright, let's have our runner units get out here and be ready to run around. We're going to try to use the terrain and our ranged weapons to defeat them. That's going to be our best possible chance. In particular here, I'm thinking of the catapults, but also, obviously, the gun teams matter a lot. We're going to have to kill an awful lot of dwarves, so I guess I'm glad that Rattling guns have regenerating ammo. Although it seems like their ammo doesn't regenerate very quickly. And this is probably a situation where we're going to really benefit from a good Doom rocket. We have to be careful how we use it. Okay, all the real units are coming in just as slowly as they can. Oh, right. The 40-unit restriction is going to keep... That's so dumb. The 40-unit restriction is going to keep the siege weapons out of the battle because the garrison has 6 units in it. So I'm only going to get the first 14 units of Akid Claw's army, and the way the game is designed, all the good units go at the back. You don't have any ability to affect that. It's just you always don't get your best units at the beginning of the battle. That's so frustrating. So yeah, we have to have a bunch of Skaven slaves die for no reason before we can actually do the part of the battle where we're any good at anything. It's even more annoying when you're Skaven because your bad units don't die. They get to very low health and then run away. They become useless, but they don't die. You have to keep commanding them back into battle. Alright, well... Well, yours has a way shorter range, it feels like, than Ikit's. Alright, so most of their units do not have significant ranged attacks. Run around back here and try to pick off some of the Quarrelers. Their Quarrelers are still fairly armored, but we have enough projectiles that we might be able to just brute force it. We have a great big battle line here. Where's Ikit? Can we get a Cracks call off? Because this is totally the situation for it, right? He has to run quite a bit before it's even a possibility. Well, get running, I guess. Yeah, it really sucks that because we have too many units, we don't get to do... we don't get to use our units, our siege units, to do the approach thing. Really makes things difficult. Alright, you guys, don't break until the spell goes off. That was pretty good damage. Alright, we gotta get Pestilence in here. Come on, buddy, you can make it through. We need him to hit some flanks. Alright, yeah, and my units are breaking and running, but because they're so good at breaking and running, they will never die, which is really frustrating. You know what? Actually, these dudes could be working on the enemy Giant Slayers. Giant Slayers are pretty powerful units, but they're not armored. It's very unusual for dwarves. Should be trying to use some of these clan rats and stuff to herd the dwarves together for a great big doom rocket. I want to try to use units that are relatively less valuable. Problem is, Ikit Claw's units are all kind of valuable. Yeah, and the battlefield is too spread out, and the more spread out it is, the better it is for them, because obviously their units win. Probably their units mostly win 2v1s even. I was gonna say their units easily win a 1v1, but it's way worse than that, actually. I want to attack those guys. There we go. That's what that battle order looks like. It's your buff, and you gotta make this work, my friend. Alright, Ikit Claw can get in here and can do some damage himself. We could use some... Okay, we could use a rat summon charge. I'm going to try to corral some enemies together on this. So I'll try to catch these guys. I want to see as many dwarves converge on me as possible here. That's not quite good enough, I don't think. No. It has to be phenomenal. This is going to have to be a huge, huge victory. Okay. And we need... I mean, we can still drop some Warp Lightning on them. They're magic resistant, but only like 25% magic resistant. It's still definitely worth using the magic. Bilefitch probably needs to keep moving forward. We have an awful lot of sources of improved winds of magic here. In fact, I'm going to hit this right now as well. We just got to keep the magic coming in. Okay, yeah, see, that was reasonable damage. Okay, I'm trying to make sure we're hitting the densest part of these enemy groups. You can see our assassin actually kind of losing. Not a good start. And of course our warriors are rallying, because them getting off the map would be good for me, so they will never do it. You guys have managed to draw... You guys have managed to draw an awful lot of enemies in. I wonder if this is going to be our Doom Rocket situation, actually. So maybe we don't want to run away then. Maybe I want to let them group up on us. No, because there's enough of my units here that they'll still be spread out around us. Enough to make the Doom Rocket bad. Alright, I mean, we have these Giant Slayers from all sides. They should die pretty quickly. Giant Slayers are not good at surviving damage. They're good at dealing damage, particularly to large enemies, as you might imagine from the name. Let's just keep using our magic and hoping that our siege units show up eventually. Sure would be nice. We don't have as good of a cracks call target anymore. I think I'm just gonna hold off on more spellcasting here. He's about to have another Warp Lightning available. He's easily winning that battle. I don't know why his leadership's getting all screwed up. We can do something like this. Alright, they have a ranged unit here. These guys are mostly doing sensible stuff. Oh, sorry, fire at will on. Yeah, I usually don't keep units in skirmish mode while I'm moving them around, because if you do that, they often decide that your orders are not important. They're like, well, if I did that, I'd go within 500 feet of an enemy, so I'm instead going to do a different thing. There's a pretty good chance that our clan rats will lose these summoned clan rats with no buffs will just lose a straight-up fight against the dwarven quarrelers. You guys gotta get down here and provide me some kind of value. Warplock Jezzails are shooting, but are they shooting the right things? I mean, to be perfectly honest, just kind of shooting anything is pretty big right now. Damage is important. But maybe I want to focus them more specifically... Oh, alright, I don't know what the camera was doing there. Focus them more specifically on something. Like, we could try to take out the enemy gun teams. I'm less worried about the Thunderers than I am about the Quarrelers, if I'm being honest. You know, Thunderers have those line-of-sight issues that are endemic to gunpowder weapons. So I'm thinking maybe we can just use that against them. We're just shooting at random dwarf warriors right now. Let's, this terrain is actually really bad for us. This thing in particular. Let's form up here and see if we can fire into the side of this dwarf unit, because this front is where we're going to need a lot of help. You guys need to... I don't know, do something. Get in there, I guess. Icket Claw is still completely winning his battle, which I really appreciate. You know what? That's a Doom Rocket. Did not affect their Rune Lord as much as I was hoping. Part of the reason I did that way is because I was like, oh hey, we can get an enemy character with the rocket. Not actually very effective, sadly. So they're keeping an awful lot of units just in reserve, or... They didn't have more than 40 units. These are not reinforcements coming in from the edge of the map anymore. Yeah, I think they're just keeping units in reserve for no reason. I am inclined to summon up some Menace Below charges on the backs of some enemies around here. Those are just normal warriors. And we're holding out a lot better than I thought we would. The Weeping Blades are definitely helping. Thunderers are not really even doing anything right now. There's Quarrelers back here, but they're also not really getting much accomplished. Yeah, I guess we'll put these guys right there. Will at least serve as a distraction. Stay in skirmish mode. And I guess if the only thing that we accomplish is we lead 4 units of dwarf warriors on a chase around the map forever, that's something. Right, we gotta keep pumping the extra magic here. You guys fall to the side a little bit. Okay, yeah, so we're weeping blading them as much as possible. We really just can't get a shot, huh? We're gonna run up. How about if we run back to this higher ground instead? Okay, he's winning. He has not taken any damage being over there in melee. Icky Claw's doing a similar job. We still have some Brass Orb charges. Let's go ahead and Brass Orb some dudes. I'm surprised at how well our base clan rat units are holding out here.
It shall be done.
Our bad units are performing way better than I thought they would.
Enemy things melt.
Part of our success here is that they are leaving units in reserve for what feels like no reason. But still, we're doing a lot better than I would have expected. All right, you need to get out of there.
Clan advance. Sneak, sneak, back.
Yeah, he can get out of there. Come on, come on, come on.
Good orders.
We gotta reassign him to a place where he's not in the middle of all the enemy units.
Rinky shriek. Spears. Move. Move. Submit to me.
Yeah, see, something like this, where we have an enemy unit that's focused on something else.
Final weapons.
Idiot Claw is starting to get overwhelmed. They have brought in... they brought in Giant Slayers, which are definitely a thing that I don't want fighting my characters. We may as well set off the Potion of Healing at this point. And maybe also some of this. I'm not going to have him try to withdraw yet. I don't think that the situation warrants that. I had to say, I'm surprised at how well this Warlock is doing in melee combat. Okay, you guys have orders already. I'm just zooming around the battlefield trying to make sure everybody has something to do. At some point, we're going to get more units coming in that are actually, like, good at fighting, remember.
Night runners. Arthur, scurry. Shriek. Shriek. Retreat, retreat.
Alright, create diversions.
Night runners. Quick, quick.
Of course, they're running up other dwarves from the other angle. So here, this is a great example of what I was talking about. These guys would not have been caught by the dwarves. No chance in hell. But because the dwarves get kind of close to them, they're like, yeah, my orders don't matter. Alright, Idiot Claw has almost defeated the 3 units of enemies that he's fighting. That Potion of Healing really heals you for quite a lot, actually. And you know what? I wonder how much of the damage on him was overcast damage, actually. I wasn't really paying very close attention, but it very well could have been the case that it was a lot of it. Maybe we want to pull Pestilence and have him go after the Rune Lord. Rune Lords aren't actually huge at combat. Like, they're okay. Now, you know, he's got it without that.
Back on the ground. Scappa, scappa.
Okay, the first unit of Rattling Guns has just now entered the battlefield.
Fancy.
Those dwarves are really chasing him. I just want to get him maneuvered around. Alright, where's the... Okay, here we go. Here's the good units coming in. Finally. So we have another unit of Jezzails and the Rattling Guns. Let's set them up here initially. Figure out something else afterward. Got our Doomflayers, which should be very helpful. We need the Doomflayers to be hitting the backsides of these units over here. I'm not sure what the best way to do that's going to be. Because I don't know if we're going to fit through... Yeah, we might fit through there. Alright, we'll try that. Flamethrower guys, definitely get over here. These Jezzails have lost their easy targets, it looks like. What does the terrain look like here? Yeah, that's a little bit tricky. Hey, you know what? They're lined up to fire, though.
On the rat's will. Idiot Claw.
Yeah, we could probably Wand of Jet. That's okay.
Imagine.
I don't think we need him to cast for a moment.
Assassin. Quick, quick, go.
Pestilence is going to try to weave down this side. Never mind. Units coming in to close that gap. I'll go around.
Scappa, scappa.
Unit winning decisively. That's what I'd like to see.
Valentine.
Okay, we do have skirmish mode on. Good. So you guys should feel free to actually do it, though. Doesn't seem like we have a lot of interest in actually being skirmish. Like, hey, stop letting them touch you. Alright, we have no exposed ranged units. Trying to figure out what we're doing with our last charge of these guys. Alright, gunners in place doing gunner stuff. Pretty happy about that. Let's get these doom flares past the enemy and then turn around and get toward the enemy. There we go. That's what we could have been doing the whole time, if only the game functioned in a way that made any sense at all. Remember, this is not even really about damage. These flank charges are very significantly about removing enemy leadership. So we have missile resistance and stuff. I'm inclined to use... I guess we should keep using the Doom Flayers to do this thing. But we can also have them run out and try to kill those Quarrelers. So the Iron Breakers there are throwing grenades at us, because that's a thing they can do. Did I not tell you to... Pretty sure I told you to cast the thing. I'm trying really, really hard to grenade him so hard that he can't cast spells, and for some reason that's actually working. Would not necessarily have expected that to be the case. Okay, you help him out, because apparently he's too dumb to cast. Looks like those guys are broken. May as well hit your healing potion as well. I think we've got him. It's been a little bit of a mess, but I think we got him. Let's get in there and pursue those dudes, you guys. Yeah, just keep running. I mean, those giant slayers are definitely dead, right? They've done some annoying stuff, but they are dead. This seems like an okay use for the last charge of these guys. Really solid Warp Lightning. Are you willing to cast now? There we go. We managed to get that off while they were not blowing him up briefly. Gunfire is doing a ton of good work. Probably not terribly surprising, really. Alright, do not just stay in and fight giant slayers. Get out of there. Broken a bunch of enemy units at the same time.
Storm demon primed.
Icky Claw needs to get out of there. We're gonna buy him a little bit of escape time here. As soon as that goes off, he runs. He's fast. He'll probably make it. Yeah, man, imagine this battle with us having access to our Doom Flayers and our gun teams from the first moment. Okay, we don't really have the best shots in the world due to the way the hill works over there. Claude needs to just back up. We can get him out to a position that makes a little bit more sense for him. But he held his own on the front lines for a long time there. Alright, somebody's gonna get these dudes under control. Yeah, that'll do. So all we have to do is try to lead these guys around and keep them in the middle of our gun cone. I'm a little leery of hitting unlimited power with him at this point, because he might explode. Your casters can die from miscast damage. So at this point, it's all about just keeping the weapons teams firing, continuing to hit the densest parts of the enemy units where we can. They still have a lot of bodies. I think these hammerers are the next most important target for you. The Warp Lightning Cannon's going to have a little bit of a non-optimal time just on account of there's no large enemies to shoot at here. So we can't take advantage of its most effective stuff. Yeah, man, my army as a whole is looking pretty ragged. The Jezzails should be very good, though. Jezzails should be able to bullseye enemy characters pretty effectively. We don't want to stand and fight the no, you're good. Just keep falling back. We don't want to stand and fight the giant slayers with the doom flayers, but we can hit them and then back off. Basically, just knock over as many of them as we can to stop them from moving forward. It looks like the flamethrowers are doing really good damage against the dwarven characters too. Oh god, we're so close. It's such a close battle at this point. Like, this could go wrong in so many different ways, and if we lose here, it's such a big loss. Where's Bilefitch? Bilefitch needs to get to safety. Again, he is a very high-level asset. Keep trying to feed magic back into the pool. How many units of functional melee do we have left? Not very many. We are going to need to, in some places, hold off a significant number of enemies still. So you guys do your best to form up over here. Pump your melee defense, try to keep you alive while you push those guys off. Should not be a big problem for Ikitclaw to get away from these enemy melee units. He's very fast. Yep, just kind of charge through, knock over enemy units, and then keep running. Right, fire into the backside of those guys. And guns get up the hill a little bit more. You guys get up the hill a little bit more. I don't know why you stopped fighting them, but you need to get back to fighting them. Yeah, that really sucks that, like, my assassin just decided the orders I gave him weren't any good anymore. Okay, hold on. We gotta give some more specific orders here. You guys, kill people. Finish them off. That's really important. And we should probably drop their lord's stats for a second here. Ugh, man. I'm gonna be so frustrated if we lose this because of the fact that the reinforcement system is, like, fundamentally broken. Get out of there. I mean, listen, if all that happens here is you run away, that's fine. Just get away. If he retreats off the side of the map, that's a win for us. Doing our best to buy him some space to move around. Rattling guns not doing a good job. I mean, I guess they killed the one enemy. You two back up yet again, though. You guys need to also back up. A lot of this is going to be on the flamethrowers dealing enough damage to their lords quickly enough to back them off, while we also try not to have... Yeah, man. This is not good. So you maybe need to focus on... Yeah, let's focus on him. We need to kill the, need to kill these lords. If we can drop their 2 lords, we might still be able to, Come on, get your positions. Start firing, please start firing. You can see him trying to take up their spots there. There we go, there we go. Alright, the damage should come in pretty fast now. And he's getting demoralized too. I mean, Ikiclaw's in no danger of dying. Cast quickly, quickly, quickly. Get up there and fight those guys. We have... You guys need to just turn around and hit something in the back. The catapults are going to be critical in bringing down the rest of these ranged units. Oh, why I'm having such a hard time selecting my catapults, but ranged units present a nice stationary target, which is a thing we always need. You need to fire at that runesmith, I think. You guys need to shoot that lord, which you are not doing at all. Haven't fired a single time. I'm assuming it has to do with him being all up in my units and you not feeling that you have a clear shot. Maybe it's your positioning? Okay, we broke those guys. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that damage. Ikiclaw is still breaking people in melee because he will never stop being a totally terrifying monster. Try to pull the Doom Flares out for one more charge. Actually, maybe help out over here? Now, you know what? He's got it. Charge those guys. Those guys are pretty close to breaking. Their whole army is really close to breaking. So close. Oh, I think this is it. I think they're giving up. Okay, tell me Pestilich got out okay. He's right there and he's fine. What is still alive for them? Hold on a second. We have a unit over here that's still red colored. A unit of giant slayers that are still chasing my night runners around the map. Incredible. And over here is going to also be a unit of... I don't see it. What am I supposed to be seeing over here that isn't broken? It's that red dot. Are you fighting whatever it is? No, he's broken. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, you guys should probably come over here and help with the Night Runner thing. See if we can't bring those Giant Slayers down. The thing is, Giant Slayers are unbreakable, so they will never give up. We will have to actually kill them all. Right, so we'll turn some gun teams around on them. We did it! Somehow we did it. Somehow we managed to survive it. Ikiclaw is a total monster. What a terrifying beast of a unit. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and finish him off. You guys have earned it. Is the Warp Lightning Cannon... Hold on, are you guys on your siege things? Yes. You can also help with that. Look at him. There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. This dude crossed over it years ago. He only just now realized. And meanwhile, my units are chasing down and murdering dwarven characters. Okay, Pyrrhic victory, I think, is a fair description of the thing that just happened to us. Jesus, look at that. Remaining 27. What a complete and thorough gutting of that army. That's what happens in high leadership armies. Obviously, it's easier to keep fighting, but also losses are more devastating because your units don't bail out when they should. I'm very curious to see what survived on the whole for us, because we definitely lost a lot of stuff there. And again, so much of what happened was because of the fact that we don't get to pick the reinforcement order for our units. Like, if I could, I would slide the siege units to the left of every single army. The good news is, the units that survived will probably level up quite a lot. That was a lot of kills. Alright, so what did we actually lose here? We lost 1 unit of pretty leveled up Night Runners. That's a shame, but all the Skaven Slave units survived because they bailed out early. Settlement Garrison didn't lose anything, and nobody from Ikit army actually died.
Serve me!
It's brutal, but everybody's alive, which means everybody gets replenishment, which means actually it's going to turn out not to be that brutal by the end. The Bretonnians are about to get pirated. And remember, we get our replenishment at the beginning of our turn, so right now, right this second, we're going to get a big pulse of health. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, hey, Morlock's back. Also, we killed a couple of dwarves. I don't know if you guys saw that, but a couple of dwarves died. So Bilefitch is already almost full again. Ikit will be full again next turn. This is part of the reason that I really love replenishment rate. If you are better at playing the battle parts of the game, maybe you don't need it so badly. But for me, it's very, very helpful. He gets level 19. We are so close. Yeah, get in your Doom Wheel, my friend. Next level, he becomes immortal, and that's going to be really, really great for us. Okay, we're going to have an action-packed next episode. Maybe a little bit less action-packed than this one. I don't know if I can stand the stress of it. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, when presumably we're just going to roll over a whole bunch of empty territory, because I can't imagine these dwarves have that many armies left. And we'll see you then.